Hey everyone, it's Jared here, and I'm really looking forward to this evening. Yes, I'm going to be seeing Neil Brand live again with him presenting Laurel and Hardy. This will be the fourth time that I've seen him live. Yes, the first time I saw him was at my local theatre, then the two times after that were at Talking Pictures TV festivals, and now he's returning to my local theatre. And yes, this is part of his Laurel and Hardy centenary tour that he's doing this year. And the last time I saw him at a Talking Pictures show, he did actually tease it. He talked about how he's going to be doing that the following year. So yes, the previous three times that I saw him live, I did talk about it in a video. So I created a playlist of videos where I talk about seeing him, and I'll add this one to the playlist after I upload it. Yeah, and basically what he does is he'll show like Laurel and Hardy films on a big screen, like it's mostly like silent films, and he'll like play piano along with them. Although I do remember him showing a few clips from Laurel and Hardy sound films, and yeah, he did also he showed some clips from like silent comedies that star actors who are associated with Laurel and Hardy. I remember the first time I saw him, he showed a clip that I think was from like an Edgar Kennedy solo film, and then when I saw him at the Talking Pictures show, uh, he showed he showed like a full short that was like with female comedians that was made at Hal Roach Studios. And yes, so he's doing this tour this year which is celebrating 100 years since Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy both appeared in a Hal Roach short film. So I have this Blu-ray set that has like their early silent films. The first film that they ever appeared in together was called The Lucky Dog in 1921. So that's 105 years old this year. But the first time they ever appeared in a Hal Roach short film was 45 Minutes to Hollywood, which was it's either From Hollywood or To Hollywood. I can't remember. But that was in 1926. So that's 100 years ago now. Sorry, my dog's going off. So yeah, interestingly, they never actually appeared on screen together in 45 Minutes from Hollywood, but that was the first ever Hal Roach short film that they were both in, and it turns 100 years old this year. Yeah, incidentally, Neil Brand did do some of the piano tracks for this Blu-ray set, and I think he also did some commentaries on some of the shorts, and he did do an interview on here, which I have watched, and I do enjoy hearing him talk about Laurel and Hardy. You know, he does talk about them as well at these shows, as well as playing the piano along while they're showing the films on the screen. You know, it's just really nice hearing from another Laurel and Hardy fan who loves them just as much as I do. Um, and yeah, this tour should be special since it's the centenary tour. Hearing him talk about like the 100th anniversary, that should be interesting. I will definitely look forward to that. I am definitely looking forward to that. And also another thing I should mention is that he actually he actually improvises the piano tracks that he does. So if you see him more than once, you're not getting the exact same thing each time. And he also, I think he doesn't always show the exact same short films each time either. This should definitely be very special with it being part of his centenary tour, and I've enjoyed seeing him live when I've seen him live before, so I'm really looking forward to this. I'll probably cut now to maybe like some photos of me at the theatre. Um, if not, it might just cut to me after having seen it sometime, or like the day after seeing it. So yeah, here you go, guys. So here's a photo I took of the screen from before the actual show started, and I made sure to get the piano in the shot as well. And here are some photos that I had taken next to the stand that's advertising the show. Yeah, it's kind of similar to my current profile picture, which is me standing with the poster, and that was from the first time I ever went to see Neil Brand. All right, so it's the day after seeing the show, and well, it's probably not a surprise to anyone, but I really enjoyed myself. Yes, it was quite similar to what he did the last time that I saw him at this cinema and at this theatre, and that was part of his previous tour. But there were some things new about this one, and I like the new things. First off, I should mention he did show different Laurel and Hardy short films from the previous time. And now, of course, I have seen those shorts that he showed last night in the comfort of my own home before, because I'm such a big Laurel and Hardy fan. But it was nice to see them on the big screen, which was really cool. And yet they were different from the ones from uh, last time I saw him there. And I should mention that in the first half, before the interval, he only showed excerpts from some of Laurel and Hardy's films, whereas in the second half, he actually did show two of their silent short films in their entirety, and those were The Finishing Touch and Your Darn Tootin'. And what was interesting, I know I've said like usually for these, like he plays the piano live while they're playing them, and he did do that a bit when they were showing Your Darn Tootin'. But one other interesting thing to note is that he actually composed a whole score for that film. So when they were playing that one, he did play the piano a bit, but they did play like some like pre-recorded noise for it, like because it's short where they have people playing instruments. So he had a music track which does feature like those instruments, like Ollie plays the trombone and Stan plays the clarinet. So you have the sound of those instruments, in the soundtrack. And there's also like noises that matches like some of the actions on screen. And another thing that I really liked was that when they showed that Your Darn Tootin', they actually did have the audience getting involved in helping make the sound effects. Yes, he did give like a drum and something else. I'm not sure what the other thing was, but like something that makes like a ding noise. And basically that was for, there's like a running joke like at one point in that short where they have like a punch and a kick, punch in the stomach and then a kick. So that person had to make the drum noise, had to like hit the drum when punch in the stomach, and then like hit the ding thing when there was a kick. That was nice. But I think that was only one person in the audience who had to do that. Whereas well, I think not everyone, because I think the people next to me were not given one. They said, but a lot of people when they entered the theatre, they were given pieces of paper that just said Laurel and Hardy sound effect on it, and basically we had to rip those because there's a bit like at the end of that short where everyone like starts ripping each other's trousers, and so yeah, you had to rip the piece of paper to match what was on screen. And yeah, he advised like people to try and not do it all at the same time. I mean, he said you can tear it at like the first trouser tear in it, but just don't waste it all that, because there's going to be loads of tears and you don't all want to do it at the exact same time. But you also don't want to wait until it's too late and there's no more trouser rippings. That was really cool, like that he got the audience to interact and make the sound effects. And yes, as I said, this mainly focuses on their silent films, but like the last time, like previous times, he does show a few clips from some of their sound films. Like he did show a clip from like at the very beginning, like before he walked on stage. They showed the clip of the Trail of the Lonesome Pine song from Way Out West, which is a great scene. And yeah, there was one point where he mentioned like, because he plays on a piano, and he mentioned like thanking the company that provided the piano for them. He said like, although like the people who delivered it weren't so good, and he shows a clip of Laurel and Hardy, in the music box and like their struggles, with delivering the piano. So that was fun. And then at the very end, when he said goodbye, he showed a clip from uh, I can't remember what shot it was, but it was one where like they're trying to go out on in the car for a picnic with like some other people, but yeah, it doesn't go as well. And yeah, they just keep going goodbye, goodbye. Yeah, and that's also how they end episodes of the Laurel and Hardy podcasts. Is they play the audio from that scene. And like the last time that I saw him at this theatre, they did have a bit of a Q&A bit at the end where people got to write on like pieces of paper and put them in a derby hat that was on the piano, or oh, it might have been on like a table. I don't think it was on the piano, but he answered the questions that were in that hat. Yeah, and I think people wrote on them during the interval. But what they did this time, which was nice, is because we got to buy these brochures for the show, and at the end we got to have a meet and greet with Neil himself, and we could get him to sign this for us. So yeah, I got him to sign it for me. He was really nice. This is because I mentioned, of course, I've seen him 3 times before. This was the first time that I really met him. He's just such a nice guy, it seemed. And yeah, this is just a nice brochure to have. It does have stuff like, yeah, it does talk about their history and all that, and it does even show some foreign posters for their films, as you can see there. It also mentions how Morecambe and Wise were often shown sharing a bed in some of their sketches, which was very much an homage to how Laurel and Hardy were often shown sharing a bed in some of their films. And I believe Neil actually did mention this in the show itself. Like, he mentioned how Laurel and Hardy have influenced many other comics. He showed pictures on the screen while he was talking, and including an image of Morecambe and Wise sharing a bed, if I remember correctly. And here it tells you a bit about Stan and Ollie themselves. And on here it tells you about some of the people associated with Laurel and Hardy, and then tells you about Neil Brand himself. So yes, there's some more like foreign posters. Yeah, Dick und Doof. Yes. So yes, it was really nice to finally get to have a meet and greet with him, since I've seen him live a few times before. And this time, similar to the last time I saw him at this theatre, they did show a clip from the TV drama Stan, which he wrote. I think this was originally a play. I think it might have been both like a radio play and like a stage play. But yeah, it starts off with like the wraparound stuff is Stan visiting Ollie when he's ill, and it's towards the end of Ollie's life. And they have flashbacks to when they were younger and like when they first met and other parts of their career. I think it's quite good. It's not as good as the Stan and Ollie movie, but I think this is quite a good drama for what it is. And yeah, Neil Brand wrote this. So yes, yeah, yeah, just as I expected. I just really had a great time, just like the previous times I've seen him. I would certainly recommend this. If you're in the UK and you're a Laurel and Hardy fan, I would certainly recommend this. He's doing a big tour this year. I think he said like this was tour. This was gig, like out of the gigs that he's done this year, this was gig 15 of 51. I mean, I'm not sure if he was entirely being serious with that, because 51 is like a reverse number of 15. But he's doing a lot of gigs this year in different places across the UK. If you're in the UK, chances are he might perform in your local theatre. And if you're a Laurel and Hardy fan, I would certainly recommend seeing him. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed seeing the show. Oh, and one other thing I should mention, speaking of Laurel and Hardy, is that recently there was this 12-minute clip released of this Laurel and Hardy documentary that's been in development hell for quite a while. I mean, I think it was originally in production like about maybe a year after the Stan and Ollie movie came out. Because I remember seeing trailers for it a while back, but I wasn't sure what happened to it. And then I saw this 12-minute clip on YouTube. It's uploaded by the people who were making the documentary. And in the description of that video, they explain what happened and why um, the struggle. And basically, it's mainly, I think, they said because of COVID happening. Yeah, but I really like the footage, like the interviews that they got in that 12-minute clip. Yeah, and based on the description, I don't know if they said like it's coming out anytime soon, or if it's finished. But they do say like in the description that they would like to finish it sometime and release it. And yeah, I would definitely be interested in seeing that. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description to that 12-minute clip from the Laurel and Hardy documentary. It's called "On the Trail of Stan and Ollie." Yeah, and I should mention that they interviewed a guy named Julian Dutton, and I've seen him live 3 times at Talking Pictures festivals. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys, and stay tuned for whenever my next video will be. So yeah, see ya.